Pedro naked in his trailer into like zoomed in, which I've got as ammunition just in case anything goes wrong.
Maybe that's why you want to pay me half of what I made on the first season? And this is not Marvel, mind you. This is like this Disney, not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult offer.
Vanessa Kirby, who by the way is engaged and pregnant, was seen basically canoodling with Pedro in front of photographers. I don't know how the father of her child would feel about the placement of Pedro Pascal's hand in this photo. Like, you must admit that he's reaching quite low on her hip there.
They asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money. And so 8 months of my time, essentially, and you do it for half the amount.
I play complicated men and speak up for real causes. If that makes me polarizing, good.
You can see him pulling her closer, trying to whisper in her ear, and she's leaning the opposite direction. The body language here says a lot.
He said it himself. He plays complicated men, and he speaks up for real causes. If that makes him polarizing, good. That line hit like a gauntlet on marble.
Pedro naked in his trailer into like zoomed in, which I've got as ammunition just in case anything goes wrong.
It sounded brave on camera and exhausted off it, because behind the pretty clips and the cheerful sound bites, insiders whisper a blunt translation. The brand they put on him started to swallow the man himself. That's the part you weren't meant to see, and it's where the story really begins. The public version is simple. Charming interviews, soft eyes, jokes that travel, a press tour that felt like a warm bath. The private version, according to multiple industry whispers, reads differently.
Vanessa Kirby, who by the way is engaged and pregnant, was seen basically canoodling with Pedro in front of photographers. I don't know how the father of her child would feel about the placement of Pedro Pascal's hand in this photo. Like, you must admit that he's reaching quite low on her hip there.
Disney's machine didn't just sell a character on screen. It allegedly tried to cast Pedro as a character off-screen.
You can see him pulling her closer, trying to whisper in her ear, and she's leaning the opposite direction. The body language here says a lot.
Forever endearing, perpetually touchable, effortlessly safe. When the memes crowned him the internet's dad, the machine allegedly said, "Perfect, don't move." He could move worlds on camera. Off camera, they wanted him to sit still and smile. That's why a few seconds of video detonated like a spark in dry grass. A red carpet moment with Vanessa Kirby, an arm where some viewers didn't expect it, a smile that looked too intimate for a press line, became the thumbnail for a week of outrage.
He is grabbing her by the arm and also feeling her baby bump.
Some saw chemistry, others saw choreography. A third camp called it a cover story designed to steer attention away from older whispers about boundaries.
Vanessa seemed shocked at first by the C-word association, but her on-screen hubby explained it's actually a compliment. Just don't try it on the streets of New York.
None of us were in the frame outside those seconds. But here's what we can say. Once the clip went viral, it stopped being a moment and became a narrative. And narratives, once set, don't ask for consent. The pattern didn't end there. Another resurfaced clip, an affectionate lean with a longtime friend on a stage, got reframed as evidence. Suddenly, the internet was doing forensics on the way his hand moved, the tilt of his head, the distance between two shoulders.
The world is starting to notice Pedro Pascal's pesky habit of inappropriately touching his female colleagues.
You could feel the algorithm salivating. Hot take accounts posted body language breakdowns like they were courtroom exhibits. Meanwhile, according to people close to the tour, Pedro was growing quieter behind the curtain. It's hard to be a human when you're being treated like a GIF. Some moments weren't even about him. A co-star dropped a joke about zoomed-in trailer footage, played for laughs, packaged as banter, clipped for virality. In another segment, a slang quiz turned awkward and got sold as adorable. The machine labeled his discomfort as content. That's the trick. If a moment fits the meme, it gets amplified. If it doesn't, it gets edited until it does. But the edit suite can't fix a man who's done. That's where the allegations crank up.
She's just caressing him. And everyone is supposed to act like this is normal.
Sources describe an internal strategy with a friendly name and a cold purpose. Position the next wave of male leads as emotionally accessible and virally magnetic. Lean soft, lean intimate. Put hands where the camera can read them. Schedule pairings that spark speculation. Sell the couple. If chemistry can be staged in a lab, fine. If it can't, fake the lab. And if the talent box, offer levity, offer buzz, offer silence, then came the email that reportedly broke him. The subject line read like a weather alert: narrative control, urgent. Bullet points, not empathy. Don't engage negativity. Let speculation drive engagement. Consider a planned confession about anxiety to contextualize tactile habits. Imagine being asked to turn your nervous system into a campaign. Imagine watching the thing you're fighting, your own commodified vulnerability, be proposed as the fix. Allegedly, that's when he stopped playing along. There was a closed-door meeting. The version told to us, Pedro arrived with counsel.
What has happened to Vanity Fair? What is this? This is... I had no idea that Vanity Fair would come up with a torture interview.
That's not a tantrum. That's a boundary with paperwork. Within 2 days, press commitments evaporated. The contract, insiders say, narrowed. The sequel talk went from whispered to wilted. None of this was announced with a headline. It never is. But you could feel the temperature change. Promo reels shifted weight. Edits favored colleagues. The daddy tags that once carpeted brand accounts thinned out, then disappeared. A digital purge is still a purge, even when it's quiet. He posted a single image, a mouse-shaped candle burning down to nothing. No caption, no tags, just a symbol melting. The comments wrote the article for him. You're free. They tried to make you Mickey. You chose to be Pedro. A week before, that might have looked theatrical. After the meeting, it looked like refusal. And refusal in modern Hollywood is revolutionary. Here's where it gets darker, and where we double underline that we're talking about claims that remain unverified in mainstream reporting.
I play complicated men and speak up for real causes. If that makes me polarizing, good.
An assistant says there's audio of a strategy call with one executive floating the nuclear option. Seed negative stories, leak raw moments, make the audience question his stability. Soft power, a voice allegedly says. If he wants to be a martyr, let's build the cross. Those words haven't been authenticated by a major outlet, but the very fact that they're plausible tells you everything about the ecosystem we've built around famous people's nervous systems. Pedro, for his part, didn't post a statement thread. He did something quieter and more final. He reportedly declined future sequels, stepped off the promo circuit, and took meetings elsewhere. No branding, no gimmicks, just scripts. That line, paraphrased by someone in the room, reads like a manifesto. And suddenly the question shifts from, did he jump or was he pushed? To why was either necessary? Because once you see the structure, you can't unsee it. Jeremy Renner shared a different kind of wound.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over?
An offer that felt like an insult. A recovery treated like a budget line.
They asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money. And so 8 months of my time, essentially, and to do it for half.
Scarlett Johansson took them to court over a release plan that rerouted her backend. Chris Hemsworth admitted the formula turned self-parody into muscle memory. Anthony Mackie spoke big picture about what a flag should mean and got dragged through a political trench. Mark Ruffalo's banner stayed on the team but never got his own film, because contracts can be stronger than demand. Different stories, one echo. Value the brand, then remind the brand it's replaceable. Leadership matters in a machine this big. The Tower office sets the weather.
And we didn't see eye to eye on that. And sadly, I still love the character. I still love to do it. But I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you, right? It just paid me when I made the first season.
When writers and actors shut down Hollywood, the comments from the top of the castle sounded numb to people scraping by. Meanwhile, the parks raised prices like a dare. A legacy fairy tale became a referendum. A lawsuit over a theme park tragedy asked whether legalese had replaced compassion. None of these things live in the same headline. They live in the same mood. Trust is a currency, and the balance has been overdrawn. So, back to the man at the center of the story. He didn't audition to be a sex symbol. He auditioned to tell the truth through a character.
He's such a generous, wonderful friend, and he's so supportive, incredibly loving, and I feel very honored that he was the masculine opposite.
The machine turned that truth into stickers and scented merch. The internet turned intimacy into a scoreboard. When he pushed back, the story tried to push him off stage, but art has a funny way of surviving PR. Put a good script in front of a good actor, and the meme shrinks. Not overnight, not without scars, but it shrinks. The uglier claim in the transcript.
I play complicated men and speak up for real causes. If that makes me polarizing, good.
The one about a memo instructing teams to keep feeding showman speculation and to avoid clarifying rumors lands like a punch because it preys on two human pressures. Be liked and be quiet. If he speaks, he's dramatic. If he stays silent, they'll speak for him. Either way, the clicks win. This is the part where stars start scheduling therapy between interviews. Not because they're weak, but because they're being asked to survive on a stage that never goes dark. If you felt whiplash watching promo cuts morph over a few weeks, you weren't imagining it. There were fewer quotes about character craft and more about team spirit. Fewer lingering shots of the lead and more ensemble glow. That's not an accident. That's a pivot. The story you're meant to absorb now is tidy. Scheduling issues, creative differences, onward and upward. It's the oldest closing move in Hollywood. Clean endings sell better than messy truths. But endings are rarely clean. He's reportedly turned down offers to come back, turned down the red carpet, turned toward projects that read like Oxygen, Apple, Warner. Anywhere the pitch starts with pages and not hashtags. Maybe that's the only way out of the loop. Say no to the meme and yes to the work until the meme gets bored and leaves. It's slower. It's lonelier. It's real. There's a line in the transcript that won't let go. I'm not Mickey Mouse in a mustache. It's bitter and it's beautiful because it cuts both ways. He's not a mascot. And the company that built the greatest mascot on earth can forget that their business only works when the people inside the suites can breathe. That's the lesson no press kit can teach. So where does this land for the rest of us? The fans, the people who genuinely care about these stories, the ones who show up. Maybe it's simpler than it feels. Don't turn discomfort into content. Don't confuse access with intimacy. Don't let a clipped moment do the thinking for you. If someone says, I need a boundary, that's not a plot twist. That's a sentence we should all learn to respect. And for the machine, here's the free advice. If authenticity is your product, you can't counterfeit it forever. You can choreograph chemistry. You can't automate consent. You can sell softness. You can't monetize a man's nervous system without breaking something you can't put back. He didn't tear up a contract to be dramatic. He tore it up because he still wants to be an actor when the lights go off. This isn't a cancellation. It's an exit. The kind that hurts now and pays later. The kind that reminds studios they're renting a person's time, not their soul. 5 days after he walked away, the story tried to walk over him. It didn't work. The candle burned down. The mouse melted. The person remained. And if you came for gossip, you might leave with something heavier. A reason to look twice at the way we turn people into trends. If you came for answers, here's the only one that matters. He chose himself. And in an industry built on applause, that's the quietest, loudest thing a person can do.